caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the
Hey, what's up, guys? This is that food that's built different, man. Now we're presenting you another episode of Food Bank Cuisines, man. Here we go. This is my take on neck bones. Yo, and I got these all from a food bank, baby. Let's see how we chef these up real fast. Now, hey guys, man, the key to good neck bones, man, is always good seasoning. That's the whole key to them, baby. It's good seasoning. Now, I'm gonna start off and I'm gonna hit this up with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. That's what you see in this bottle. I just prefer to keep it in this bottle because it's easy to pour. Then I'm gonna hit it up with a little bit of this liquid smoke. Now this liquid smoke goes a long way. You don't need a lot, it's very overpowering. I say maybe a cap full, half a cap full. I like about 2 caps in mine because I just like the flavor of liquid smoke. Then I'm gonna hit it up with some of this brownie. Now guys, you don't need to use browning. This is like not necessary at all. So this is like a choice I just like to use because I like the coloring of it that it gives my neck bones. I like that darker color. So, you know, and remember, while you're doing this, man, you're going to want to incorporate all of these seasonings in real well. I'm gonna do that in a second. I'm also adding some sazon, man. Some sazon goes a long way. I put mine in the shaker bottle, which is easier to control. Having to take out each packet all the time and use one packet. You know what I mean? I just empty out all the packets into a shaker bottle. It just makes it easier for me. Now, like I said, you're gonna well incorporate this all together. You're gonna make sure that you hit every edge of your neck bones. And guys, with this seasonings, you season to your taste. You don't have to use, that's why I don't have no necessary measurements for my seasonings, is because I season by taste. I've been doing this a long time, so I just know how much it tastes, what will taste good, what won't taste good, basically, guys. So, oh yeah, I also gotta drop a little bit of this curry powder in there, Jamaican curry powder. If you guys can find it, but I always add some of this in my neck bones. It gives it a good color and it gives it a hell of a good flavor, man. Y'all gotta try this recipe, man. I'm about to show you guys why in a second. Like I said, guys, make sure you well incorporate all your ingredients, man, very well. Try to get all the edges, because when it comes to neck bones, sometimes they have a lot of folds. So you want to like unfold these folds and make sure that you get all of your seasonings into the folds, basically. Okay, now I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of this garlic powder. My garlic powder is fine garlic powder. I prefer the one that's not fine, but like I said, I got these seasonings too from the food bank. And sometimes, you know, you beggars can't be choosers. You get what they give you. So at the end of the day, you still can use it. It's still like any other seasoning. You just kind of got to incorporate it in a little bit more, but still gives you the same outcome, still gives you the same flavor. Now, guys, I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of turmeric. Now, this one I would say about a tablespoon, but a half a tablespoon, because you don't really need a lot of this turmeric because it's very overpowering. But it gives it a hell of a good flavor. And guys, too, I don't put none of this in mine, but I've seen other people use it, and I know it tastes really good if you use some kind of bay leaf. You feel me? If you use a little bay leaf or a little oregano, if you have some, that also works very well. I don't particularly put any in mine, but I have had other people put some in theirs, and there also was good. So, you know, that's just not something I use a lot in my household. And you definitely gonna add a little bit of salt to that. And be careful with your salt, because you don't want it to come out too salty. And guys, we actually doing this in an Instapot. It makes it a lot quicker, a lot faster. Now, the first thing you're gonna do is to hit your Instapot and make sure it's on saute mode, because you're gonna want to sear it. Now, searing causes the juices to be locked inside of the meat, so you're gonna want to give it a good sear first. And then once you're done searing all sides, you're gonna pull these bad boys out, and then you're gonna wait for the next step. Now after searing on one side, you're gonna start to flip these over, and you're going to, like I said, you're gonna give it a sear on all sides. So I'm gonna flip these over real fast, and try to get them a sear. Now be very careful because they are kind of slippery, but you're gonna give it a good sear. Don't worry if anything gets stuck at the bottom of your pot, because you're gonna end up using that later on. Okay, it's about time to take these bad boys out. Now, after I take these out, you're gonna see something at your bottom of your pot. It's gonna look like it's burnt on, but it's not. It's flavor, all flavor. You're gonna actually take that out of your pot. I'm gonna show you guys how. Now, you guys, what you're gonna need is, you're definitely gonna get yourself some onions. Now, I've already pre-sliced these onions, and like I said, my Instant Pot is still on. And as you can see, it still looks somewhat burnt at the bottom. All you gotta do is throw some onions in there. Now, the onions are very important because there's something in the acid of the onions that causes this flavor at the bottom of your pot to lift off of the pot. So now you're gonna basically saute these onions on top of that, and you're gonna also add a little bit of water in a minute, but I'm gonna let these just kind of get hot on top of this, just so it could produce some of the acid out of the onions. Now guys, you're gonna add your water to this now that your onions have gotten hot. Now you add a little bit, I say maybe a fourth of a cup of water, and you're gonna let this water end up getting hot. Now you're gonna consistently stir this, you know what I mean? But since I just put the water in it, I'm gonna let the water kind of heat up a little bit first, and then I'm gonna start to stir. And as you stir, all the stuff that's stuck on the bottom of your pot is gonna actually melt down and come right up. And remember, that's all seasoning stuck to the bottom of your pot. So you're gonna need all that, man, because if it ain't dripping, it ain't hitting. Now, as you can see, a few minutes later, there's nothing stuck to the bottom of the pot, and all this juice is all flavor, baby. Okay, now we're gonna add some of these colorful bell peppers. Now, like I said, you can use any kind of bell peppers you prefer. You feel me? Actually, I just got these at the food bank, and I actually prefer the colorful ones. To me, they got like a sweeter flavor to them. But you don't have to if you don't want to. You know what I mean? You get whatever you can get. So at the end of the day, after this though, I am going to incorporate, well, as I'm doing this, excuse me, I'm going to incorporate these neck bones back into the pot. Definitely ready for that step. Now, as I'm incorporating these, I put bell peppers at the bottom of my pot, and then I top it off with the remaining rest of the bell peppers. Now, this step, you don't have to do it this specific way, but to me, it just comes out, tastes a little bit better because it's flavored on all sides. Okay, guys, now that I got all that incorporated, I like to top mine with a little bit of minced garlic. For some reason, the minced garlic just, it gives a whole nother kind of flavor to it, which also comes out really well. I usually don't incorporate the minced garlic because of the sear, because sometimes if you incorporate that minced garlic and you go to sear it, the garlic will burn. You don't want that, so you want to kind of do that step afterwards. Now we're ready to go. We're gonna top this on. We're gonna make sure our valve is closed, and we're gonna set this for pressure cook on high. We're gonna set this for about 45 minutes. Now the time can vary depending on what kind of Instant Pot you have, but I do max about 45. I've seen some people do 60. I've seen some people do 18, but I prefer 45. It works best for me at 45. Okay, guys, it's been 45 minutes. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually take these neck bones out, and I'm gonna add some green beans to them, because for some reason green beans and neck bones, man, remind me back in the day when I lived in North Carolina, man, the southern food. So, but also, like I said, from the food bank, sometimes it's hard to get the fresh ones, so I'm gonna use the canned ones because that's what I got from the food bank. Like I said, this is Food Bank Cuisines. we gonna do everything out the food bank, man. Show you guys how to do this, man, for real. All right, guys, we are back now. We're gonna turn our pot back on to saute mode. Now I'm gonna leave the green peppers in there, and I'm also gonna add some of this gravy. This is what you see in the baggie, some gravy I had left over. I put in the freezer. It's the McCormick powdered gravy, actually. I had pre-made this, and I had the half left over, you know what I mean? And I don't like wasting food to throw anything away, so I put it in my freezer safe for another date. So now I'm just gonna add this actually into this. I'll do another video on how you guys can actually make that powdered gravy taste even better. I'm definitely gonna do a video on that for you guys. Now I'm gonna add this and just let this heat up until it's well incorporated. Now let's add these canned green beans. Make sure you drain. As you can tell with the little bit of water that's coming out this can, I ain't draining very well, but it ain't gonna hurt it though. Now I'm gonna add these green beans inside this pot. I'm gonna give them a stir. You feel me? And I'm gonna wait and let this simmer in that gravy and in the juice for about maybe 15 minutes. Just leave it on saute and let it simmer in there for a minute. Okay guys, we almost done. Now we're gonna put these neck bones back inside the gravy with the green beans and the bell peppers. And we're gonna let this sit here and simmer for another 15 to 20 minutes. And guys, after that, you're gonna be done. Now this is what your final product should look like. Got some neck bones, some green beans, and some instant mashed potatoes, man, straight out the pack. All from a food bank, baby. Now let's eat.